1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it.
An old soldier's prayer. I have fought when others feared to fight. I have gone where others feared to go. I've lost friends in war and strife, who valued duty more than love of life. I have shared the comradeship of pain. I have searched the lands for men that we have lost. I have sons who served this land of liberty, who would fight to see that other stricken lands are free. I have seen the weak forsake humanity. I have heard the traitors praise our enemy. I have seen challenged men become even bolder. I have seen the duty, honor, sacrifice of the soldier. Now I understand the meaning of our lives, the loss of the comrades not so long ago. So to you who have answered duty's siren call, may God bless you, my son. May God bless you all. By Lewis Millett.
To all our beloved veterans and active duty military, forever thank you for your service. God bless and protect you always.
Every step we take now, God is with us always. Through the night and daytime, He is making new ways. Mountains tall are shrinking, rivers part before us. God is here and leading, He is making new ways. God makes a way, hey, hey, every single day, hey, hey. Jump and sing and play, hey, hey.
Look what I just turned into.
God makes a way, hey, hey. When we feel so worried, God is here to hold us. Fear can't stand before Him.
Right now, bro.
He is making
you talk
new
about the Lord,
ways.
okay? Literally just went in there, like all the way up here. I'm stoked. So I'm drying out all of my my stuff here. I was thinking about what we're gonna vlog
God
about.
makes a way, hey, hey. Every single day, hey, hey. We jump and sing and play, hey, hey. God makes a way, hey,
Your
hey.
basic fisherman's knot, okay? There you go, there you go, there. Oh my God, there you go, yeah! Yeah, big up. Go easy, go.
When we feel so worried, God is here to hold us. Fear can't stand before Him. He is making new ways. Through the stormy weather, God keeps us together. He is our strong tower. He is making new ways.
All right.
JLF 777, God's A to Z Adventurist. Veterans Day Edition. Tribute to Jeffrey Bradley.
Now is the time to lean into me, to rest in my strength, and to allow me to carry the load that you can no longer bear. I will lift you, carry you in my arms, and give you true rest. I stand at the door of your heart knocking if you are willing to let me in. I will bring you out of all afflictions and redeem you from the grip of your oppressors. I will gather you from all the places where you've been scattered and bring you into a wide, open space of
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Veterans Day to our nation, to the world. All right. We came out here today to an unknown, secret, undisclosed location, okay, where they supposedly stalked a bunch of trout, okay, and that unknown, secret, Pentagon security clearance location is going to be Lake Jennings here in Lakeside. So, anyways, we're here. We've got our poles down there. Hello. So we've got our poles down there, and we've had it out for about an hour now, and we haven't had a bite, but we just came out here to spend time with the Lord, okay, and honor our military, honor our veterans, okay. The people, the men, brave men and women who have served so bravely, okay, for our freedoms and our way of life here in the United States and around the world. I'm going to take the time today, okay, to convey to you my veteran. All right, I'm going to bring honor to my veteran, who his name is Jeffrey Bradley, and he was my very best friend in the entire world. Jeffrey Bradley was he was, because he's passed away now. He passed away in 2004, and I'm going to tell you the whole story about that. But he passed away in 2004. But before 2004, he served in Kuwait, in Desert Storm, and he was a tank gunner on the front line, the very first who went in, and he was my very best friend in the entire world. I miss him to this day. But I'm going to take the time to honor him today, and all the other veterans out there who have served and have given their lives for our way of life and the goodness of and the quality of our life here. Yeah. So anyways, Jeff Bradley, again, he was a tank gunner, and he was the first to go in against Iraq or Saddam Hussein and his military when they overthrew Kuwait back in the early 90s. And he came back from that tour. He survived. And at first when we met, we didn't really, I really didn't think too much of him, this and that. But then we started hanging out, and we started, going to adventures in Mexico and stuff like that. And we became the best of friends. Well, I was really good friends with him. And like Forrest Gump and Bubba, okay, we were like peas and carrots. We were like peanut butter and jam. He's just your basic run-of-the-mill Caucasian fellow, but the nicest, kindest hearted man you ever met in your life, okay? And if you're ever in a situation, all right, like a predicament or anything like that, especially if we were over the border, Mexico, in in another country, something like that, he was the man to have at your side, okay? He was the man that just had your back, period, point blank. Well, during my time of alcohol and drug addiction, and this was kind of all part of it, and we were friends at the time. And before I got into the really hard, narcotics and started getting really out of control, we were the best of friends. We were inseparable. And then there came a time where I fell into the the big hard stuff. And my friend Jeff, there was times where I sorry guys, I'm making my coffee here. I'm sprinkling some coffee into some creamer into some coffee that I'm making here, but my creamer seems to be like kind of clumped up. Okay, so anyways, trying for a creamer, guys. So during my time when I started to fall into hard drugs and narcotics, there were times where I was not his best friend, okay? I was not his best friend because I was falling into drugs and alcohol. He drank too, but he was, he remained on the more sober side when it came to straight drugs and narcotics. It was mainly just alcohol for him, but because he's military, But there was times where I was not his best friend, but he was always mine. No matter what, he would tell me the truth, and he he would tell me flat out, Paterno, man, you're dishonoring everyone. You're dishonoring me, okay, with your drug use. And he would tell me these things. And at the time, you know, at the time, I regret it so bad right now, but at the time, I didn't hear his words. You know, I didn't hear my parents' words. I didn't hear anyone's words because I didn't hear God's words because I was like, at the time, blind Bartimaeus. I was blind, okay, to everything that was going on. It was only the drugs that was important to me at the time. But I had to leave California, all right. And before I left California, he told me, he's all, brother, I always love you and I always will love you. But please, for God, for your family, for everyone, go and get straight, okay? Even though you have to leave California here, go and get straight. You know, do what God's telling you to do and just leave and go get straight. And those were like one of the last words I ever heard from him. So I went to Florida for about a year and a half, came back, married the German girl, and at the time I was marrying my very, very first wife, okay, he came to the reception and I hugged him and he was so glad to see me sober, and I praise the Lord that I saw him again in the state of mind that I was in, because I was saved by God. Okay, I was saved by Jesus Christ because I had asked for salvation and redemption and restoration from the mayhem of my past life. So I got to see him one last time at my wedding reception at Golden Sail in I think it was Long Beach or Seal Beach, and that was the last I ever saw of him. So I was with my wife, you know, and I was raising my son, and then my first wife and I she became my ex-wife because under the same roof we didn't get along, you know, or we found we didn't coincide with each other. But in the end, you know, 23 years up to now, we're still really, really good friends, my first ex-wife and I. With my friend though, right after my first ex-wife and I like separated and divorced, okay, I was raring to go and see him. He lived in Oceanside, and he lived there, you know, near his family. And right when I separated from my ex-wife, okay, I went to go move to my father's house because they had bought a house across town in Moreno Valley, and because we sold our house in Cypress. But my parents had bought a house, and then I took my parents to the airport where my parents went to the Philippines, and then my father passed away of his second heart attack in the Philippines, on vacation with my mom. So during this rough time for me going through divorce, but anyways, just opening up, you know, out of the gateway, the starting gate of my very first divorce, I was raring to go see my friend. And I was meaning to go see my friend. I wanted to go and see my good friend. And my father passed away, okay, and approximately, and that was 2 weeks after I separated from my first ex-wife. So I separated from my first ex-wife, moved over to my parents' house. My father passed away 2 weeks later. 2 weeks, pretty rough on a man, okay? My father was my very, very good best friend too. So about a month later, like I think it was like sometime in mid-November, just before December hit, I was had it in my heart to call my cousin John in Long Beach, and to find out where Jeff was at, and to find out if he had any information for his phone number, stuff like that. Well, before I was able to make that phone call, I got a call, and it was from my cousin John, and he told me that my good, very, very best friend was killed in a motorcycle accident in Oceanside. I told him I remember 10 years to the day prior that the day he got his motorcycle, like we were such very, very good friends, and he got his motorcycle, I told him, Jeff, dude, you are gonna get killed on that thing, man. My father's a owner-operator truck driver, and he doesn't allow me to ride a bike on the street because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It's not about your riding, it's about the complacent drivers that don't see you coming, you know. And you know what my good, very best friend told me? I'm sorry, I'm starting to choke up. But he told me, he told me, just like my father always told me, he told me, Paterno, I survived the front lines of a major war. We were the first to go in. It was the heaviest battles, okay, until the Iraqi army gave up. But I was in there, and God saw me through. He saw me through that entire battle, that entire war. So whatever happens now is whatever happens. Whatever happens now is up to God. So he told me, so you live like my father said. He said, you live your life for every day, because tomorrow is never ever promised. Value life for today, because literally I could drink this cup of coffee and bail on the freeway and get killed in a 12-car pileup. That's the way I look at life. From the lessons of my father, my very, very, very good best friend, my father, and my very, very, very best friend, Jeff Bradley. Jeff Bradley's been passed away. They both passed away simultaneously, one after the other in 2004. Okay. Now this was a very, very trying time for me, because I just divorced my first ex-wife, and that ball of pain that was here, it was just, I had to cry myself to sleep. But losing my father and my best friend all within the 2-month period, you know, I lost my first ex-wife, my father, my best friend, all within, from October to December. I lost 3. You know, they say everything dies in 3s. Okay? So, folks, the one thing I want to convey to you, all right, especially as I look at the past and everything now, and I look at the present now, okay, I ask myself, why did God choose me to live this entire life all the way up to now? Okay, over and above my very, very good friend. My very, very good friend, when he passed away, he couldn't have been more than 38 years old at the time. And at the time when I learned of his passing, I was 34 years old. He was a few years older than me. But it's been, and this was in 2004, so it's been 22, going on 23 years that we laid my very good friend, my father and my very good friend, Jeff Bradley, to rest. So I've asked myself on many occasions, why has God ordained me to live to this day? You know, to be in front of this camera, in front of you, giving appreciation to our veterans, our fallen heroes, you know, our current military, and our current law enforcement, the brave men and women that keep peace within our nation. Right? Folks, appreciate the life that you live. Right? For the millions of brave men and women, for the wonderful life that you live to this day, you and your family, everyone's so very, very happy with the lives that we have. Appreciate those and cherish those that serve, or that served, okay? And appreciate all those that currently serve right now for our wonderful freedoms that we take for granted every day. Folks, live life, all right, to its fullest every single day. Appreciate your brother and sister, okay, for we are all children under the light, love, light, and unity of Almighty Yahweh, and Prime Creator. And however, which way you view to worship and you know, view your Prime Creator, that's all your right, and I will not condemn you for it. Right? So, it looks like I got a couple floaties in there. So anyways, here's to all you veterans. Thank you for your service. Thank you for all your sacrifices that you've done, that you've made for this wonderful country of ours. Thank you, our beloved military, for the braveness and the courageousness that you show every day, okay, to bring order to the world that we live in. God bless and protect all of you law enforcement, every law enforcement, Okay? For the braveness that you show just even stepping out of your front door every morning to protect and serve our local communities and the nation. Thank you, Border Patrol, all right, for protecting our borders, keeping us secure. Right? And thank you for all you civil servants, okay, from anywhere from judges, nurses, doctors, lawyers, anyone who serves the general public. Okay, even your waitress or your bartender. God bless all of you for your service. Okay? But this one's for the veterans. All right, this day is mainly for the veterans. Thank you for your service. God bless America. God bless you, Jeffrey Bradley. May you rest in peace, good friend. I'm gonna see you again real soon. I love you, brother.
JLF 777, God's A to Z Adventurist, in loving memory of Jeffrey Bradley, 1972-2004, ... and in honor to all our veterans, active duty, military, and law enforcement.
Beloved children, breathe in this quiet honor. Tonight I saw brave souls remembered and humble hands given thanks. We honor those who served, men and women of the military, those who kept peace at home, and the lawkeepers who stood watch. I watched Papa Smurf Paterno stand with friends and with Samuel, and I felt the tender memory of Jeffrey Bradley, a Desert Storm veteran whose life of service still echoes with courage. Service is a sacred prayer written in deeds, the sacrifice, the duty, the love for country and neighbor. When you comfort a veteran, feed the hungry, or hold a family's hand, you bind heaven to earth. Let remembrance turn to action. Support the living, minister to the hurting, and teach the children why courage matters. Share this tribute, stand with those who served, and let unity and gratitude be your witness. Go in peace, find joy, and be a blessing to those who gave so much. Amen.
Oh, in the net, yes, yes.